Is your mindset keeping you financially broke? Learn how to shift to a winning money mindset and start building true wealth starting today.
Hello, I'm Kent Irwin. I'm a financial life coach. I help entrepreneurs, business owners, and ambitious, successful people to succeed in their personal life, their business life, and with their personal finances. Today, I'm talking with Shelby Hutchins. Shelby is a good friend of mine. She's a business owner, expert in video, and she's a mom. So a lot of the things we talk about spill over into the personal and business life. So we've been having some great conversations on these previous videos.
Absolutely. All of the things that you taught me so far, Kent, taking into my life and making a huge difference.
Really?
More than you could know.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So you're getting free coaching. Maybe I should be charging you.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
We'll do trade.
All right. Today we're going to talk about how your mindsets can either lead you to financial success or keep you stuck in worry and anxiety. Let's make the shift to success if you're stuck into that stress cycle.
Kent, we hear a lot about toxic financial beliefs, but what are some specific beliefs that keep people stuck in financial stress or even scarcity, or like the scarcity mindset that you spoke about in previous videos?
Yeah, there's many mindsets that I find that people get stuck in. But I boiled it down to some of the more common ones that I see. Okay. The first one would be the scarcity mindset. That's the belief that there's never enough money. Sometimes people compete. It leads to a fear of spending, a fear of investing. Sometimes it causes hoarding. That's the scarcity mindset. Sometimes it causes overspending and financial anxiety for people that might not have much at all, or even for people that are good savers. The next one is money equals self-worth. This is a dangerous one, but it's very common. We all struggle with this from time to time. Mm-hmm. It equates our personal value and success to how much money we've accumulated or how well we're doing in business. And there's really no connection because our value is not attributable to how much money we have in the bank. But that's an unhealthy mindset we see quite often too. It leads to overworking sometimes and neglecting relationships. The next one is what I call the adult child. Very common too.
Okay. Tell me more about the adult child.
The adult child is they never learned delayed gratification.
Oh, I guess that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
As we all know who have had small children, they want everything now. If they don't get it, they scream their head off. Mm-hmm. We have to teach them that.
So there are adults who scream their head up when they don't get what they want.
In one way or another. Right. Yeah. So if they give in to themselves, then they usually end up with too much debt.
Makes sense.
Yep.
What's another one?
Another one is debt as a constant. There's a mindset out there that people feel, I'm always going to have a house payment. I'm always going to have car debt. I'm always going to have credit card debt. That's just a normal part of American living, right, or Western living. That's not a healthy mindset either.
I've seen that living abroad. When I lived in Brazil, no one accumulates debt. They typically pay off their house. They pay off their car.
Really?
On the contrary, in the United States, everyone assumes that they always have debt. And I didn't realize that difference in mindset until I moved to a different country. They don't accumulate debt the same way we do because their debt is so expensive.
The next one is free spirit.
Okay.
A lot of free spirit. They're creative people and they use it to moderate their emotions. They have difficulty. Sometimes that's not necessarily a mindset. Sometimes it's just the way somebody's wired. It leads to impulsive shopping, often buyer's remorse. They have a lot of regret later on. And of course, financial instability. I think the free spirit can be a mindset. Some of these will spill into how we're wired or how we're personally, what our makeup is.
Okay.
So sometimes the free spirits, it's just how the person is. And we have to coach around that.
Okay.
The next one we see is the keeping up with the Joneses or materialism. If you can recognize the brakes on the Amazon truck as it pulls up in front of your house every day.
Been there.
There's a little bit of that in everybody.
Right.
Not every single person. I don't see it in a couple, but it's common too.
Plus, we have Amazon, which is the most convenient company in the world.
Yeah, you look at your phone, it can be on your doorstep that afternoon.
That is dangerous.
That's dangerous. But that's a mindset.
Right.
That's not the way humans have been accustomed to living for the last several thousand years. That's a recent phenomenon that's occurred just in the last few years.
So it means we can change it.
We can change it. Another mindset we see in some people is that poverty is inevitable. They just feel like no matter what they do, how hard they work, they're just not lucky or They just don't believe that finances will work out. So they just kind of give up and they surrender. It doesn't matter. So you can call it poverty or you can just call it indifference, but they've just kind of given up. Maybe they've tried. So we give them a lot of grace.
Yeah.
But it's a mindset and it can be changed.
Absolutely.
Our mindsets are powerful.
And they can be changed.
And they can be changed. So that kind of spills into another mindset is just financial resignation. I'm not going to manage my money. I'm not going to do anything. I've just given up. I've tried. It's too hard. I'm not going to worry about it. I find that happen not only with modest income people, actually with upper income people.
They just
They've tried, no matter what they do, they just don't have the wiring or the mindset, and they just kind of like resign with that's the way it's going to be.
What's another one?
Another one views that work is just a tool, that I'm going to just have to endure through my work life so that I can save up a pot of money so that I can enjoy my retirement years, or I can accumulate enough money for financial independence. So that's an unhealthy mindset because the focus is on enduring and not actually being more engaged and really enjoying our life that we have today, that we're hoping that we'll be happier in the future after we endure some of the misery that we have today, so we can reach a point where we don't have to work and we're free of that undesirable work condition. That's not a healthy mindset either, because we will be working for decades. Most people will be before they can get that state.
Right. And they have the benefit of the delayed gratification, but they're living in the future. And so they're not ever actually living their life in the present.
You're so right. And so guess what? They're stressed and they're not happy.
Yeah.
The last one that I'll add, this isn't meant to sound like a social commentary or a political bent, but there are some people that believe that capitalism is just inherently bad, that money's bad. But capitalism is not bad. It is a way of trading goods. It's a way of participating. In fact, one of the greatest aspects of capitalism, it creates worldwide collaboration between buyers and sellers and providers of natural resources. It's one of the most amazing things that creates bonds between people in communities if it's done right. I'm not saying there's not bad capitalists, but to believe that capitalism is bad is a bad mindset, and that will trickle into our personal finances if that's the way we view it.
Makes absolute sense.
Yep.
So you're saying that all of these mindsets contribute to some type of financial stress or financial hardships?
Often I see that. So when I coach couples and I coach individuals and business owners, often I see some of these mindsets that contribute towards people not being good managers of money. And by being able to identify them and helping people identify them in themselves enables them to make changes because they see that they're not helpful, that they're not conducive to healthy living and to building a successful future. And they can see some of the cause of their stress and anxiety and unhappiness.
So we've mentioned some of the more challenging mindsets that people deal with. Can you talk a little bit about the healthy mindsets that maybe people can understand on how they can shift?
Yeah, so there's some great healthy mindsets that I've identified that people that do well with money, or people that are happy, or people that live balanced lives, or people that are able to go deeper into their faith exhibit some healthy mindsets, and they're common.
Okay, I'd love to know more about them.
The first one are those that believe in an abundance mindset. So an abundance mindset believes that there is enough resources to go around, that we're not limited, that there's enough opportunity for everyone. And it's a non-competitive state. So that's what we would call the abundance mindset. It leads to confidence in financial decisions, generosity, and a growth-oriented approach to life.
Love an abundance mindset.
Yeah. As opposed to scarcity.
Right.
Just the opposite. What causes you to kind of close down. Yeah. The abundant mindset opens you up to more possibilities, including generosity, which generosity frees us from some of the materialistic tendencies that we all have.
One is contracting and one is expansive.
Exactly.
And the more you expand, the more you expand.
Yeah, the more you open up to more possibilities.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love that. What's another one of the healthy mindsets that you found?
Well, you touched on this earlier, is the delayed gratification. That's a healthy mindset. That when people were raised in an agrarian society up until the last 100 years, the entire population of the world was pretty much an agrarian society. They learned that you sow and then you reap. There's delayed gratification. You save for everything. You put seed aside for next year. You save money to be able to buy supplies in the coming year. So a lot of those things we've lost total track of. We're in a society that's more consumer based, and we can have instant gratification, have anything that we want when we want it with very little weight. That's an unhealthy mindset that causes a lot of people to struggle financially.
And that one seems to creep in so subtly, where you start to let yourself get instant gratification, and then over time you have no idea that you're completely in this instant gratification loop.
It would be fun to hook up a blood pressure machine to everybody waiting in line at Starbucks to get their coffee order filled. You know, up until the time that they grab it, and then they see the positive chemicals in their brain relief. Oh, I have this amazing cup of coffee that
is a true addiction.
Saved my life. That's a true addiction.
Yeah, true addiction. That's good. Tell me a little bit more about another healthy mindset.
Another healthy mindset is being able to be financially independent. And what I mean by that is you accumulate enough money or investments to be able to be self-supportive. Or you build a business, or you accumulate real estate properties that provide passive income. That's a healthy mindset, that people can actually achieve that kind of outcome in their life.
Love that.
The next one I'll talk about is budgeting is freedom. A lot of people think budgeting is restricting and telling them what they can't do, but budgeting actually frees people to really be able to know what they can do and to be able to really enjoy what they can do, as opposed to not having a budget. They're always in a state of wanting what they don't have, and they love what they don't have, as opposed to just enjoying what they currently own.
Oh, that makes total sense. Maybe it also aligns with the discipline is freedom. It's like the more that you have discipline within your life, you actually have more freedom because you're in control as opposed to life controlling you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense, because people that have more discipline end up having more free time. More free time means more freedom. So those that have more discipline, they're a little bit more organized. They don't allow non-fruitful activities to enter their life as much. They tend to have more freedom of time, which allows them to actually be more creative and to have more freedom.
It's kind of contrary to what people would assume.
It is. That's really true. Investing for growth, it's a healthy mindset to invest money for it to grow in the future. One of the best things you could teach kids to do would be to put part of their allowance, part of their part-time income, part of their gift money, not only invest it in an interest-bearing account, but maybe start off with a small stock portfolio that you help them manage.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, you're investing for the growth in the future, and they can actually see that.
Yeah.
So that's a really healthy mindset, is to grow money for the future. That way, your assets and your hard work are worth more in the future, as opposed to just spending it on items that don't have any value in a short period of time.
And they go down in value.
And they go down in value. They become worthless. Yep. Look at all the free stuff on Marketplace.
That is a perfect example.
Yeah. They spent $150 for it 6 months ago, and now they're trying to get rid of it for $50.
We'll pay you to come pick it up.
But they had to have it a year before.
Yeah.
Had to have it.
They got that dopamine hit as soon as they spent that money on it.
The next one is a very healthy mindset, is a generosity mindset. This one's fun. Believing that giving to others will create a positive impact for them and society, and it actually will create positive benefits for us. Am I saying that it's okay to give, to get? I think it's okay, actually. I think it's actually okay. In fact, one of the darkest, deepest times of my life, where I was severely depressed on some bad things that were happening to me, I went and volunteered regularly helping out people that were in poverty at food kitchens and things like that. Yeah. I did it purely for selfish reasons. And that's okay.
And it helped you.
It helped me. It's okay.
And everyone gets to benefit.
Everybody gets to benefit. And you see all kinds of sides to you and to other people you never would have had the opportunity. So being generous, it opens up people's lives and actually makes them more free. It makes them less connected to wanting to holding on to what they have.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think also, even if people are doing it for selfish reasons, quote unquote, over time, it becomes a habit where you know that you're going to get that feedback and you're able to affect people in the future. And so you go into it knowing that it's beneficial for everyone involved.
Correct. I'm not saying we should give just so that we can be on stage and look like we're this great benefactor.
Right.
Philanthropist. And get praise for being, they're this incredible generous. I'm not saying that.
Sure.
I still think the best kind of charitable giving is in secret.
Yeah, with that, and also with a cheerful heart.
with a cheerful heart. A friend of mine the other day was telling me that a friend of his is going through a hard time, couldn't afford a car repair. He's going to help him out.
Yeah, a great example is we had a mutual friend of ours. I won't say their name, but we were at a foundation and he donated a large sum to this foundation and didn't want any recognition. He just wanted to be able to give anonymously because he believed so much in what they were doing. And that was a really great example for me to see someone who was giving out of the pureness of their heart and in that spirit of generosity, pure, true generosity.
That's beautiful. That's really neat.
Not that.
Yeah. Another mindset is emergency preparedness. It's a good mindset to be able to prepare for the future, have an emergency reserves. That's a healthy one. Stewardship, I will mention. That's a healthy mindset too. What is stewardship? It kind of comes from a Christian or Judeo-Christian perspective.
Okay.
Is that we're entrusted to steward the assets, the resources, the time, the materials that we have. We're responsible to steward them in a wise way, not just for ourselves, but for religious purposes or for helping out our neighbor.
Is that like being accountable for what you have and turning it into something bigger because you touched it?
Yeah, being accountable is a big part of it. Also being productive.
Right.
There is a parable in the Bible that talked about the faithful servant that was able to invest for the future versus the person that buried it in the ground.
Yeah.
So we are expected to grow our talents and our gifts and our resources that we've been entrusted with.
My brother shared this
healthy
fable
mindset
with me this year.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did.
That's really good.
I forget what it's called. Fable of something, but yeah, he actually shared this with me. I was like, you know what? That's a wonderful thing to refer back to.
Yeah, it's a great principle.
You know, taking responsibility of the gifts that you've been given and multiply them.
Yep. The end of that Bible verse actually says, well done, good and faithful servant. You've been entrusted with a little, you're going to be given more. So that's a healthy mindset. That's what we see happen. The people that are more generous, the people that are better stewards, end up prospering more responsibility, more stewardship. So it's really cool to see that.
Handle it.
They can handle it. They've shown that they're trustworthy.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I love stewardship.
Another one is that work is a service. Work isn't just for money. So we work as a service to others in our community. If it's a business, we're using our business to serve others. Maybe it has an altruistic value for the community. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe the great value that it provides is it provides employment for people, for them to be able to provide for their families, to be able to provide benefits, for people to be able to expand their creative talents in their chosen profession.
That makes sense. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs who take pride in providing work for other people, and that's one of their gifts.
Yeah, it's a beautiful gift. We talked about the unhealthy mindset that capitalism is bad. Mm-hmm. So the opposite of that, a healthy mindset that we've already talked a little bit about, is that business is good. And we just talked about that a minute ago. So that's a healthy mindset, that business is good. There's a few bad capitalists, just like there's a few bad in any kind of enterprise. But business is good.
Amen.
That's a great value. It's a good mindset to have.
So you've shared a lot about different mindsets, good and bad. How do these play into your style as a coach?
So my style of coaching is a little unique, I think. I don't see many other coaches approaching it this way. But one way to help people get their finances in order is you tell them, this is the better way, do it this way, this is going to create greater stability, you need to save more, spend less, pay off debt, make these changes. A lot of people aren't able to do that without really addressing some of the core issues that lie underneath the surface. So that when they can identify some of the unhealthy mindsets, we can coach into those. And when they identify some of the healthy mindsets that they want to adopt, we can then help them to integrate some of those new mindsets in their living. That's when transformative change happens. Yeah. That's when more happiness happens, less stress, when they're able to integrate those new mindsets in their daily living.
Yeah, that internal shift I can see is exactly what people need for sustainability in their goals and changing.
That's right. And when you approach it with the way they want to go, by helping them to see the path, it's much more transformative. There's less personal resistance. And they see a new way of living and that's better, and they become happier. They even anticipate what it's going to be like, and they become happier right away. They can start enjoying the future when they see that.
Excellent. So I love how we broke down the difference between the healthy mindsets and the toxic, unhealthy mindsets. It's such a huge part of financial success I'm learning from you sharing all of this with me.
Yeah, I find it's very helpful. we remove a lot of the roadblocks and a lot of the barriers that people have to their success. Thanks so much for joining this video. If you enjoyed it, please like it. If you want to be notified when more of these videos are released, please subscribe to this channel. Also, in the comments below, please indicate what mindset changes that you're going to shift to today. Thank you so much for watching this video and have a fantastic day.